we knew this is something that will become the next fitness stage in UK as well. Even now you have a franchise with this just small gyms running, but not EMS. There is only, I would say, below 300 places where you can do EMS training in the entire UK at the moment.
Right.
One of the most popular people that use electro-muscle stimulation was Bruce Lee. The science behind it is, regardless you want it or not, your muscle will contract. We had a lady that broke her back twice, came, you could almost say, crippled to us, and had really a lot of other health challenges with it, and it changed her life completely. She's like a new person. It's part of her life now and part of her routine.
Welcome to the Business Sense podcast. I'm Gary Crosby. This is the podcast where we make sense of the business journey by talking to owners about what they've learnt along the way. Let's jump into today's episode. Troy, thanks for joining me on the Business Sense podcast this morning.
Thank you very much for the invite, Gary.
And you got here despite the car breaking down and everything else that goes with that. So thank you for making the effort to come to the studio.
No worries. Any obstacle, we have to just go over it and move on.
Good call. Good call. Let's give the viewers a little bit of an idea of what you do first of all then. So tell us about your business and what you actually do.
Yeah, so our business is ePool Studio. So we running a fitness center where we're focusing on one's health. So apart from newest technology we use for electro-muscle stimulation training, so this is newest type of workout. We also provide natural organic supplementation. We provide 3D body scan, which give you a comprehensive report about you and track your progress moving on. We implemented to it a blood testing. We have physiotherapy on site, holistic therapy on site. So we really want to focus about your health. So make sure we can help in every angle.
Sounds interesting. I really want to talk about EMS and the electro-muscle stimulation, but I'm also curious about, how you end up in a situation like this. What did you do before the fitness industry?
Yeah, so I was in sports all my life. I've been in school teams, in basketball, volleyball, etc. Done amateur sport myself, and my business partner as well. He's actually a professional back in our country, in Poland.
Okay.
But yeah, I lost the path because I went into corporate career, and I reached the high corporate career, and I reached the highest level, highest position in the company, and then I decided this is not for me because I had a young family, less and less time every day to stay fit, and I've decided I have to change something. So when I discover EMS, I start testing it, see if that will help impact in my health and reduce my time. So that was one of the critical things, to retrieve the time for myself and my family. So then I decided to run that type of business.
And it's it's quite a big step, to go from a paid job into starting. It's a franchise, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. To taking on a business. Was there any fear there at that point?
I would be lying saying no. Definitely, it was a lot of fear, a lot of challenges we had to come across. So we took a gamble to a certain degree, because in UK EMS is not as popular, and that was one of the biggest challenges we had. Nobody know what EMS is. Nobody know what electromuscle stimulation is.
They will soon. They will in a minute.
They will. I hope they will, and most of the country will understand it, because in UK, if you think about the market, we are about 5 years behind Europe about electromuscle stimulation business. So. We knew this is something that will become the next fitness stage in UK as well. Even now you have a franchise with this just small gyms running, but not EMS. There is only, I would say, below 300 places where you can do EMS training in the entire UK at the moment.
Right.
And in Berlin itself you have over 350. So in one city you have more places than the entire UK. So far.
Wow.
There's a huge potential.
Yeah. So let's get to the meat, if you like, of EMS. When did it first appear as a kind of an opportunity to to be alongside normal resistance training, if you like, normal training?
So originally very long time ago, but one of the most popular people that use electromuscle stimulation was Bruce Lee. So he actually initiated that it can be used, but nobody understood that at that point, and it took a path of more physiotherapy and rehabilitation, because not sure are you familiar with TENS machine when you do that. So the technology is similar, but TENS machine works more to ease the muscle, to relax it, and where electromuscle stimulation technology we use works to build muscle, burn fat, depend on your training goals. We can increase your stamina, endurance. So
so those are big things for people to aim for. Those increases in muscle strength and stamina. What's the science behind it? How does that actually work for?
So simply saying, it sends the same signal to your muscle as your brain does. So when your brain sends the signal to the muscle to contract or move your joint, you just do it. In here, you have the same signal, but from the outside source.
Right.
So the science behind it is, regardless you want it or not, your muscle will contract.
Right.
So we teach how to work with the impulse, how to use the impulse to your advantage, how to make the most out of the training. So the first trial session will be, for example, we will discuss with you your needs, your goals, your challenges, your health, and then create and design the training session for you as an individual. So we have very much personalized approach. So if you tell me, I have a bad knee, I can't do something because of hip or whatever, we will do training session around that. So you can still do the training. So we can help, professional sportsmen as much as with rehabilitation and recovery. But the science is literally, you can build the muscle without using any weights.
Okay.
So that is for people that really struggling with, they need to use weights to build it, but they can't use them because of certain health challenges. You can do that without any weights.
And if you do use weights, does it amplify the weight, if you like, or the effect of the resistance?
As an example, I can give you a 1 kilo dumbbell and you can feel like you're lifting 20. So it's all about how intense the impulse is. So what frequency of impulse we use. So like I said, we can use impulse for build muscle, fat burning, interval endurance. So there is a different options and possibilities that we can work with.
Okay, so you mentioned fat loss there. Is that, do you see lots of people getting results in that particular domain?
Yeah, so we help a lot of people. We done so far over 2,300 sessions since the opening. So we opened back in October 2021 during pandemic. We have, one of our let's say clients that is with us almost slightly over a year and a half, lost 40 kg or 43 exactly, and is still on the way to be healthier. We had a lady that broke her back twice, came, you could almost say crippled to us, and had really a lot of other health challenges with it, and it changed her life completely. She's like a new person, is part of her life now and part of her routine. So she sees us twice a week because she just loves it. It's her time. And that's the other thing, she haven't got time. She didn't have time to spend hours in the gym for rehabilitation and recovery. We're here within half an hour, then hour a week, because she's doing two sessions, so it's literally an hour a week. She regained her health and her life back.
Wow. That's interesting, and because you're talking about electro-muscle stimulation, I'm now imagining wires and things physically in terms of how that current is applied, or that electrical charge is applied to the body. How does that work?
Yeah, so there are different types of system that you can use. We use the most advanced one, which is the skin suit. So it's very similar to the wetsuit. I'm not sure if you have experience with that.
Yes.
So it needs to be skin tight. It's got 10 groups of electrodes inside it. All the wires are hidden away, so there is no water involved or anything like that. We have a main connector that slides into the side pocket, and basically we control it with tablet or iPhone if we need to. So there is a freedom of movement as well. So, for example, I use it to run in a park, and you can do, like I said, except swimming, you can do majority of things.
So I have to buy my own suit, do I?
No, we provide suit, we provide training program and everything. There is option to buy the suit, there is option to buy the franchise even, but as an individual client, there is a option if you want to have your own one, or we provide it. So we wash it every time after every use. It's all sanitized and hygiene. So,
and so when people are in the studio, are they, are they on a treadmill, and do they do the resistance training? Are they doing other forms of training? What are the
we have
types of training you can do?
We can do any type of training, but we have minimum equipment because we don't really need much of an equipment. We don't have heavy dumbbells. We don't have machines. We literally have, you can say, 20-meter square training room where we can do anything.
Right.
And even on the first training, when you come to us, there is all equipment around you in terms of resistance bands, some dumbbells, training ball, anything like that. But we don't use any of that because we want to show you that there's no need even to use any of that. If you want to hold something just for the comfort, for the balance, you can, but there is no need. Impulse can do the work itself, but adding on, let's say, targeted training, targeted exercises can increase your results much faster.
That's fascinating. Are there any kind of is there a period of time that you need to get used to the electromuscle stimulation? I've used a TENS machine before. I imagine it is something that requires a little bit of getting used to.
So again, we teach people how to work with the impulse. So for example, when you come in for the trial session, we gradually increase the impulse to your muscle groups.
Right.
So for example, like I said, you have 10 muscle groups that we stimulate, 10 main muscle groups, but we're starting with, for example, quads and hamstrings. So first your legs.
Right.
And we will be setting it up to, let's say, up to 80% of your possibilities. So the only thing you're supposed to feel is either tingling or muscle contraction.
Sure.
And from there, we basically know from the experience, from knowledge we know how far we can push. Because some people might say, oh, I can feel it to a certain degree, and you can increase it, but we know if we do it at the beginning, they might have too much of a muscle ache later.
Sure.
So we balance it for them to understand as well them as individuals, how quickly they recover, and how they feel after the training. They normally feel very energized. So
and is it like normal resistance training where you can get DOMS or the delayed onset muscle soreness?
Yes, of course. And
effective?
there might be quite a lot, but it's like I said, it's all depend on individual.
Sure.
So if we have let's say professional bodybuilder that comes to us and say, oh, I haven't felt DOMS in my arms for years.
Yeah.
We can guarantee him that he will see and he will feel his arms for the first time in a number of years. So it's the way of, let's say, different stress for the muscle. So, for example, in professional training, let's say professional bodybuilders involving up to 60% of muscle fibers when they do the individual targeted exercises. In here, if we do it right, we involve up to 90%. So it's much more muscle fibers taking part in it. That's why, for example, Bruce Lee knew how much advance it given his muscle, how much strength extra his muscle gaining because he was using this machine a long time ago.
Got it. And then I guess we just have to ask the question about whether there are any potential downsides or side effects. Do people feel any of that?
There are some contraindications to our training.
Okay.
And again, majority is from the safety reasons. So, like I said, when you come into us, we give you a contraindication form, which contains a few areas we need to make sure you're okay. So, no pacemaker and things like that. Obviously, cardiovascular problems eliminates, majority of cardiovascular problem eliminates from our training. It's purely for the safety reasons. Electromuscle stimulation does not affect organs. However, for the safety reasons and insurance policy, we cannot take a risk of taking anybody with any cardiovascular issues.
So you buy this franchise, you get this franchise, and you get the physical space that you need in Peterborough. How did you attract your first clients?
And that's, I believe, come into the first challenge that we had. So, like I said, originally. We were advertising as EMS studio, and nobody knew what EMS is. So we were like, okay. So we took a learning from that, and we working as personal training using electromuscle stimulation.
Okay.
So it's a very much personalized experience using newest technology to speed up the process and give you the better results. So originally we had few people that came to us on our opening day. Even our videographer, funny enough, he came for opening day, done the videos for us, and stayed with us for a few months. And he lost. He started 133 kilograms. He dropped to 113 within 4 months.
Wow.
And he was amazed because a few years back he knew how hard he had to work or how many hours he had to grind in the gym to achieve the same results within just a few months here. So he was very, very surprised and very impressed that actually it's not hours in the gym. It's literally he was doing it half an hour a week.
Yes.
And was obviously nutrition is the key. So he understood that, with the training, you have to add right nutrients in.
Yes.
Because it's physically impossible if you have a calorie surplus to lose weight.
My personal trainer says you can't out-train a bad diet.
Exactly. You can have the best training in the world, and with EMS, I can promise you will have results. You will feel stronger, you will feel better, and overall you will see difference in size. But to lose weight is the calories amount, the intake that you need to look into, which we can help as well.
Yeah. We'll come on to that for sure, because I wasn't aware that you did all of that additional stuff. But I'm interested in those early days in the business. You're fresh in Peterborough, as you say.
Yeah.
What were the main challenges other than that, getting that first group of customers through the door?
Again, it's apart from lack of knowledge and understanding for people to what EMS is. Again, running a business is not just doing a training sessions in a training room. And a lot of people didn't understand that there is a whole lot of work going on behind the scenes, where we need to prepare everything, create. It's literally we created the entire franchise, so we build it step by step and add on different services. Works from customer needs. So once we had few customers that were looking for additional services, we then try to find a solution to implement it. And also, like I can say, with blood tests, we knew sometimes there is an internal problem, and people also don't understand that. If you go in every year with your car to do the MOT, why are you not doing it for the body?
Yeah.
Literally, we see blood tests like that because you check yourself internally, you check your vitamin levels, hormone levels, everything, and you understand if there is something going on internally, you can prevent it instead of be reactive where something's actually happening. So.
That's fascinating. I saw, I think, maybe on your LinkedIn profile, this superb testimonial for Julie.
Yes.
And obviously at the beginning for business owners, it's good to have people around you. Tell me about the impact of coaching on your business at the beginning.
So coaching is critical. If you stop learning, that means you're going backwards. There is always a room to learn something new, always a room to find out something new techniques, new ideas, new things. And with regards to coaching, Julie introduced me to asked me actually if I want to take part in her program that she testing to see how this is going to work for her clients. And I said, yeah, definitely, because it's part of personal development, which I still carry on doing because it's very important for me, as well as being an example for my kids. So I took part in that, and I found those techniques that I learned very, very powerful and very useful in day-to-day basis, and I still use them on a day-to-day basis. That's why, it's something I would recommend to everybody. If you want to run a business or do something extraordinary, you need to develop yourself. You carry on not forgetting about yourself, because we can easily lose ourselves in between the workloads and everything else. But if you forget about yourself, everything else will suffer. So
yeah, you have to make time for wellness or you'll have to make time for illness, someone said to me once.
Yes,
which
very,
was
very
quite-
true.
Quite
Very
interesting.
true.
Thinking about personal development, I'm fascinated by what you just said there about, setting a great example for your kids. When it comes to personal development, what do you want them to see in you?
What I want them to, that's a very good question. I want them to see that, you following the trends, following the whatever everyone's going is not necessarily the right way. Be an individual that think for himself and try to change the world, impact the world to make it a better place.
Yeah.
Because when I look back 3 years when the whole crazy COVID started, I just look back and think what's going to be next, what's going to happen, how it's going to impact everyone's life. And
Yeah.
from the beginning we start planning to run the business, because we tested the equipment before, and we opened the company back in March 2020.
Oh, right.
So
What a time.
We then put everything on hold, and back in March 2021 we start kind of reworking through our plan, and then in October we opened. So within 6 months from actually making a decision, okay, we're going ahead, because now it kind of seems to be a bit better.
Yeah.
But I want my children to see that you can do things that you want. You can once you focus on the things you want to do, it's all achievable.
And I like that principle, that you leave people and places better than you find them. I mean, that's a great lesson to teach kids, isn't it? Yeah. So let's go back into the business then, because you're doing the electromuscle stimulation, you're doing the personal training. You mentioned supplementation as well. What kind of impact does that have on people? Because the supplement industry, there's a lot of debate on both sides about how effective supplements are.
Oh yeah, of course, and I fully agree. That's why we introduced in our studio supplements that are 100% natural, and the reason being is if you think about the world these days, and everybody's in rush, everybody going to big supermarkets, buying all the fruit and veg in there.
Yeah.
And when somebody dig deep enough, they find out how this is all manufactured and produced, they realizing that nutrition values in the food these days is much less than it was 20, 30 years ago. For example, you could buy this massive carrot from Tesco's, which have less nutrients value than small carrots from farmer. But people don't realize that. They think, because I eat healthy, because I eat a lot of veg and fruit, it's all healthy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's all sprayed with pesticides, chemically buffed, because it's before it's reaching the shelf. So all the good and bad, or majority of good and bad, is killed. And when you think about this, some of the fruit and veg travel a long time before they even hit the shelves.
Avocados, all the way from
example.
Mexico. Yeah.
For example, bananas, avocados, all those different things. And unfortunately, the way that the soil is yield, nutrient value in the food drops. And now we were looking for a solution, because we knew that we need to find a solution apart from a good diet, because not everybody have a lot of time again to cook a few meals a day, to focus on this part of things, because they have work, they have life, they want to work out. So we found a solution that gives you 100% natural organic ingredients in a extract. So you have, for example, a bottle where you can have one of the most popular products is Day and Night. It gives you all the nutrients and vitamins that your body needs for 24 hours.
Right.
There's one bottle for the morning, one bottle for the evening. You have a 25ml shot, and anything extra you add on throughout the day is a bonus. And it's a huge impact in terms of people's health, regeneration, recovery. There's a number of examples, and we have a number of solutions that are 100% natural, and I can say we are very proud that we sharing health with others, because, like I said, sometimes some people can't do our training. but we can help in alternative way, like supplementation, advise them, we have professional sportsmen now, I think 3 Olympic champions, UK Olympic champions, testing those supplements in terms of performance and their well-being. And, it's just going forward.
And I think wellness is a mindset, isn't it? You have to, not only do you have to have time, but in your mind, you have to see the benefits and want the benefits, and therefore you take action that maybe you wouldn't normally.
Yes, that's true. However, sometimes it takes time for the person to grow enough to make that mindset, to change their mindset. So I'll give you an example of one of our clients. He started with just the sessions, and he didn't want to go on a diet. He didn't want to do much of any other things. However, within 8 sessions, so 8 weeks, because he was coming once a week, his mindset changed.
Right.
His motivation, because he's seen results, even not doing anything in terms of in his personal life, he's seen the results, and he felt better. The endorphins that he released after every training just kicked in, and he wanted more. So he started then asking us, "Can you actually provide me with a nutrition plan? Can you advise me what else I can do to actually start feeling even better?" And he's with us for the last 6 months, and he's just amazed how much impact it had on his even playing football, because he had a bad ankle, bad knee, so he's amazed how much impact it had on his personal life. And that's one of the best things about it. We see the true people stories that they come into us with thanks of how much this changed their lives and improved their lives and make them feel better about themselves and overall in terms of their health.
And I suppose it's important to capture those in terms of testimonials and make sure that you're telling a great story about the fact that, the combination of the EMS and the other stuff that you do is actually having a positive impact.
Yeah. So again, we have 3 video testimonials. We're planning to actually do quite a few more, because we already have people waiting in the line to actually do interview with us. But because we are opening London studio in a month and a half, we had to push everything to the side at the moment and focus on that, because that will be the second of our studios in Upminster area. So we want to make sure this is 100% fully focused on at the moment, and then we carry on moving with more testimonials, more things. But we try to encourage people to give us a Google review after either they finish the sessions or
And I mean, that's a perfect introduction to my next question, which was going to be what's happening next. So it sounds like there are more studios on the way.
Yes. So one is in London, in Upminster area, which going live within 2 months. We have all everything start to be prepared from building side, and we have pretty much everything in line to have it launched. We have another 2 customers that one is from London, the other one is Nottingham. So I would say it's just a matter of time, because we prepare like a turnkey model. So if you are an investor that wants to invest money in a very promising business, we create that model for you. We made a model where you literally invest a certain amount, and you're walking into the studio where trainers working for you, and then you have all the numbers adds up for you.
So the plan essentially sounds to me like to sell more franchises and get more franchisees on board, and build a network that way.
So our ultimate goal is to actually help others to help others. So our original goal in our studio was to help as many people as we can. And now we can help for example, personal trainers to help more people in a different way. So give them the model that instead of working endless hours in the gym, they shorten their working time. They make it much more, I would say, professional, because they have their own boutique studio where they have 3 main services, core services that works together in a synergy and give you amazing results. And happy customers, better results, and more time for yourself.
Sounds great. But the thing that was going through my head as I was putting these notes together last night was that we see a lot of fashions and fads in fitness. You know, when we think about the kind of things that we've seen throughout the last couple of decades, is this something that can survive being labelled as a fashion?
I would say definitely yes. The reason being is, if you look on Europe, it's growing in Europe since 2012.
Right.
So since 2012, EMS start to be more and more popular in Europe. Now is one of the leading countries is Germany, Poland, Spain, and they are, there is a huge amount of places where you can do that type of training. And the reason being is, I can see it is, not everybody wants to go to the gym. Not everybody wants to be around other people where they train. A lot of people shy to go to the gym because they don't know how to use certain equipment. They're afraid what other will think, or and all this silly video that people record on Facebook and drop in. It's wrong. Yeah. In here you have a very much personal space for you. It's like, you're coming in, you have complete privacy, so it's working for few famous people that don't want to be seen as well. So they're coming out within an hour. They done. They're coming in, changing, doing the training, have a shower, and out. Yeah. It's like 1 hour is the maximum that they're gonna spend in here, and this is like all these people that haven't got time. And wants to stay fit and healthy, once they discover this option, it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
So it's not a fad, really. It's just a new way to keep fit.
Yeah. So if you think about like CrossFit and all the other trends that occur through the last few years, they okay. They some people just love it, but there is not, I would say, enough people to stay in a gym 5 days a week for 2 hours to do CrossFit or do bodylifting and weightlifting and all this sort of thing. So, and some people just go there for 1.5 hours twice a week, which is then still 3 hours of their time just to stay healthy, where they can now squeeze this time to half an hour a week. And that's more than enough. That's equivalent to pretty much 3 hours in a gym. Yeah. If you think about this in let's say scientific point of view, you stimulate 10 muscle groups at the same time. So with every exercise, even if you do biceps, your legs working, your abs working, your back's working. So everything working at the same time. That's why it's compacted training. So we use different exercises to make it work all together.
Sounds exhausting.
It can be, and again, it's down to your personal needs. Yeah. If you want to increase your stamina and endurance level, it will be very exhausting because we will make you work in a way that you will basically work on your stamina levels. So that will be, breathtaking. But if you want rehabilitation and recovery training, we will focus on rebuilding those muscles that you need to rebuild or strengthen, and that will be it. So it's very much personalized, tailored.
We've talked about the big step to take at the start, and the fear that comes with that, and getting yourself in. And then we talked about mindset and personal development and how important it is to be resilient as a business owner. Just thinking about your advice to anybody else who's thinking of coming into the fitness industry, what would you say to people now about starting a career in the fitness industry?
That anything is possible. It's setting yourself a goal. It's one thing, but I would say the journey towards that goal is what actually changing us. Yeah. So, I've set myself certain goals, and journey towards it completely changed myself and my life. So I would say that, focus on the goal, but think about the journey you went through when you achieve it, because it's all doable, all possible. And taking a risk is part of life. We take a risk, even staying in a secure job, you're taking a risk. Because if that company will go down, you will have to look for another job. Yeah. In terms of sense of security, I don't think there is a sense of security anymore, because, through what happened for the last 3 years, any company can go down within seconds.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it's the matter of what you think is the security is for you.
It's a brilliant message about the journey, because some people do get focused on the destination, and they forget about what they can do along the way. Troy, it's been a bit of a gallop through your journey in business as well. Fascinating to learn about EMS. and to see the effects of that, and to hear the stories of your clients that have enjoyed it and got great results with it. I just want to say thank you. I know it's been difficult for you to get here. I appreciate the fact that you did make that effort to come and talk to me this morning. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for the invite, and thank you very much. Hope to see you in the studio soon.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.